Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of iknowindices.com. We are into the new week, 14th to 18th of November. So now on 14th of November, between 5 and 5:30 GMT, during this Asian Session Live Market Analysis and the Forecast webinar, I'm going to explain to you the expected market moves from Monday till Friday, and that will be session-wise forecast. Besides, I will also give the range in which the currencies are expected to swing during this particular week and the following weeks, and also the market reading in 4 majors and 2 commodity pairs in order to understand in what direction the players are expected to make the moves in coming days. My contact details are given here, and those of you who wanted to contact me after that of the webinar, you can always make use of it without any string, and I will be willing to give you the reply. My email ID dr@i-knowindices.com, and if you want to urgently contact me through Skype chat, then you can use iknowindices@hotmail.com as the Skype chat ID and contact me, but I will be able to only explain over that of the chat because too many people will be available simultaneously. Then my website address is www.i-knowindices.com. So we will see one by one the derived forecast, market reading, and the trading strategy, what we should use in order to limit the risk and maximize the profit. Now this is the forecast sheet for this particular week. As we have seen that last week was the first week of the month of November, after that of the monthly trend reversal move, and also we found that the election was happening at that time last week. So obviously, the market is bound to react to that of the election news. As a result, they made, during that of the counting process, the extreme high in the case of Euro and GBP, and later on dropped Euro and GBP and also gained USD and USD CHF as either way stop moves. So that story is over. Now we come across the new week. So the players will look for the new triggers for the market to create unexpected moves. So during this second week, they are expected to make the week beginning false move today, and then subsequently they are expected to make the intentional move in coming days. The intentional move is expected to be swing and rise move in the market, and it could be a quick rise from that of 17th. It could be a quick rise from that of 17th of November. So they could use anything as an attribute and then quickly gain the levels. Till this time they are expected to make either way stop-ins. So today being the first day of the week, 14th of November, swing and firm up is expected during that of the Japanese session. So they made a nominal dip in the case of Euro and also in the case of GBP, and a quick gain in the case of USD and USD CHF, and started making the reversal. And in the case of commodity pairs also, they made the USD gaining move and slowly they are reversing it. Then they are expected to revisit those levels during the late European session quickly and then reverse the market. Then 15th, they are expected to make the swing and slide during that of the Japanese session and start gaining the levels during that of the European and the US session. Then on Wednesday, they are expected to make the swing and rise during the European session and swing and firm up more during that of the US session. Then on Wednesday, they are expected 16th of November, they are expected to make the swing and slide, and then firm up and rise during the European and the US session. Then on 17th November, they are expected to make a dip and then firm up, then swing and slide during the European session as a nominal dip, and then start rising. Then on Friday, they are expected to make a quick rise, but during the US session, they are expected to book profit after gaining the levels. So keep in mind that they will create the market sentiment and act against it of the traders. So now they are created the USD weakening, USD gaining moves in the market for the big beginning, and telling so many attributes with regard to the newly elected president. And this is bound to happen in the market. So if anybody sneezes, also the market is expected to make some unexpected move, giving some interpretations. So invariably, we will come across a lot of rumors and a lot of interpretations. As a result, the players are expected to make some moves in the market either way. So always keep in mind that the players make the moves depending upon the traders' pending positions. If all the traders are long, they will not mind making further drop and accumulate the stops. And if the traders have already taken the sell position expecting further drop based on the fundamental, then the players are expected to quickly gain the levels without giving a chance for them to book profit in their sell side, and then subsequently induce them to do the short covering. And every time whenever the unexpected moves happen, we'll come across enormous analysts coming with it of the market analysis and the attributes. Basically, that will be in the form of market comment, what had happened in the market. So what had happened in the market, and that will only be used as an instrument to create the market sentiment. So whenever somebody talks continuously bullish about US dollar, then the people who are listening will also develop the bullish feel. So that is the tactics they use in order to incorporate or induce the sentiment in the market. So once the sentiment is created, the players know that freely the traders are taking the position depending upon the market sentiment. Then they will use suddenly the trigger creating news and then say that, okay, now it is going to be different, and without giving a chance for the traders to reconcile, they will simply make opposite move and trap the traders. So the trader has got no other option than to book the loss. So keep in mind that the players are here to trap day in and day out, like the waves in the sea. It will be never ending. Now, these are all the levels in which the currencies are expected to make their swings. And you know that last week it went up to 1.13 in the case of euro and came down to 1.0875 and 55. And now they have come down to 1.07, below that of the psychological level 1.08. And then they are expected to recover after making a brief dip during that of the late European session. They are expected to gain the levels in the case of euro, and they are not expected to revisit. Then slowly gain the levels. In the case of GBP, they are holding high in order to make drop in the case of euro GBP cross and also European crosses and the other commodity crosses, etc. So they are expected to make further dip in the case of GBP and later gain the levels. So initially GBP is expected to make sideways move, and then subsequently they are expected to make the quick gaining moves. And in the case of yen, they have made a massive downward as well as the upward stopping. They formed the new high in order to create the feel for the traders that it has breached all the resistance and gone to the top, the next trading zone. So automatically the traders will look for the resistance turns support and then try to take a buy. And you know that the players create such a situation so that every drop the traders will try to buy and also do average every 30-40 pips. And then once the players make 200-300 pips downward move straight, all the positions will show loss and the traders will be trapped vulnerably. So especially in the case of USDN, they are known to make one-sided moves. So keep that in mind and then trade accordingly. So always less exposure will be good to earn very good money from the USD and trading. Then in the case of CHF, they could come down to 97 from that of 99.50 level. And in the case of Canadian dollar, they just gone to 1.3563 level, and then they are expected to come down after the week beginning false move. They are handling USD CAD on the higher side for the week beginning in order to make a big drop during the week. And in the case of Australian dollar, they are holding near the low. Now it has come to positive net change. Earlier it was showing the negative net change, indicating now they are handling the commodity crosses to start with. So after handling the commodity crosses, they will handle the N and N crosses, then come to that of the majors, and finally to that of the European crosses. This is how the sequential moves they make in the market every time. So follow it accordingly. You can take positions in the respective currencies where the currency is showing more than 40 pips spread between that of the high and the low. If we commit position, we will be able to make some good profit. Wherever the spread is less than 40 pips, if we take a position, your patience will be tested and it might be holding. Now, with regard to the initial lows and the highs set for the day, I noted down the lows and the highs around 3:30 GMT, and they are being displayed here. And let us now review where the market stands. In the case of Euro, 1.0773 is the low, 1.0840 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high, but still they are keeping it below that of the psychological level 1.08, creating the bearish field. Then in the case of GBP, 1.2510 is the low, 1.2593 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high, and they are holding it now in the middle level. In the case of yen, 106.74 is the low, 107.59 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high, and holding closer to that of the high. Then in the case of Swiss franc, 98.84 is the low, 98.38. 99.38 is the high. They are not breached the low or the high. Then Canadian dollar, 35.06 is the low, 35.63 is the high. They are not breached. Then 75.24 is the low, 75.62 is the high in the case of Australian dollar. So from 3:30 up to 5:14 GMT now, they are not breached the low or the high. They are simply consolidating. So that shows that traders are unwilling to commit positions. So players are also not breaching the low or the high, and they want the traders to commit positions. Later on, they will try to make their extended move, intentional move, and also the periodic stop-ins. So watch that carefully and then try to commit positions. Whenever you come across quick moves, you try to do the contra trade after the third level of the drop or the third level of the rise. Then your stop will not be hit. And also, if you keep hedge order, it will not be hedged. You will be able to really book profit. So instead of looking into that of the levels, if you look into that of the type of moves they are doing it, with the help of the live market code page, you will be able to easily assess what the players are doing. Because players are basically cunning, and any cunning man, if he wants to cheat, then he has to, first of all, pretend as if he is a good man Only then you get convinced, and later on he will try to steal the material from you. The same way, they will pretend as if the market is going to be bearish, and then after the quick move, once they commit the position, they will reverse the market. So identify such false, quick false move, and then commit positions. You will be able to really capture good profit from the other market. No technical or fundamental analysis is needed. Basically, we need to read the intentions of the players. That is vital. Now the recommended trades for today, they will be able to revisit the low or briefly touch the low with 1 or 2 pips. So you can, near the low, you can take a buy in the case of euro, and they are expected to breach the initial low in the case of GBP and make about 20-30 pips downward move, and then later on reverse, you can take a buy at that time. And in the case of Australian dollar, near the low, you can keep a buy order, and you can do either way swing trades today because they are expected to make from the low to the high, and again low high to that of the low during the late European session, and then start gaining the level. At the time, don't sell. During that of the late European session, you buy again around these levels, and then during US session they will gain the levels. So as and when you come across the US session starts, they will try to give so many attributes besides the fundamentals. They will also talk about the policies of the newly elected president and things like that, and create the uncertainty to that of the traders. Now these are all the new timings to be followed. The early and the late sessions, they handle the majors. Mid sessions, they handle the crosses. So keep that in mind, that the daylight saving system is off. So as a result, you find there is about 30-minute shift in that of the Japanese session, and European session starts by 8 and ends by 14 GMT. US session starts by 14:30 and ends by 21:30 GMT. Till March, we are going to follow this particular time frame. So if you got any doubt, you can ask me. I'll answer those questions. You can ask the question in the question answer window. And I'll come on 18th of November, Friday, and review the forecast, what I have given it. So let me show the forecast part of it. For those of you who joined late, probably look into the forecast, what is expected to happen in the market. Don't imagine any extreme downward move or the extreme upward move. They normally do about 100 to 150 pips. And always keep in mind that they have the weekly limitations and the daily limitations in the net change. If you look into that of the market, you find that euro is showing about 71 pips negative net change from that of Friday close. Yen is showing about 87 pips positive net change, whereas GBP is showing only 31 pips negative net change, and Canadian Swiss franc is showing about 48 pips positive net change, all making the USD gaining move. Of that, Japanese yen and euro are showing more net change. Then in the case of the commodity pairs, they are showing nominal moves, 19 pips positive net change in the case of Canadian dollar, and unchanged condition in the case of Australian dollar, indicating that they have finished handling the commodity crosses on the upside or the downside, depending upon the pair, and they will slowly come to the yen crosses and yen, where they have made the big moves. So they will try to revisit and take out the stops above that of 107.762 now, slowly, and then start making the slide. You can make use of it to close if the position is hedged, and keep about 25-30 pips away another hedge order. They are unlikely to make continuous rise. They will pretend as if they could rise, but they don't. They always pretend in order to cheat the traders. Now come to the high, cutting the high. It's the late session. You can watch once the new high is not been breached for 10 to 30 minutes, you can just handle it at that time. Okay, regarding Euro USD, broke October low. Okay, see, just because it has broken the earlier low, it doesn't mean that it will be going up to that of the next support level. And they just breached it and formed the new low and not breached the new low. Not breached the new low after the formation around 3 GMT. So that indicates that they may only do a brief downward stop, and so they should accumulate the positions below that of 1.08. So I'm not expecting any big drop in the case of Euro this week and coming weeks. So near that of the low, you can definitely take buy position, but still to limit the risk, keep hedge order. Because if all traders taken a buy, then probably the players might make another 25 to 30 pips downward move, hit the stops and go up. In such a scenario, we should not say that you only said that it is the support, whereas it is breached and then gone up. So the players' intention we need to read, and when they are coming closer to the low, you watch for 30 minutes how they form the new low, like how they formed the new high in the case of USD. Then once they stop cutting the new high for 30 minutes, you can just take the buy position. I hear once they stop cutting the new low for 30 minutes, you can take a buy and assess the lows and the highs based on the moves rather than based on any calculations. Because we have been tuned in such a way and so that the traders can get hurt. And you know pretty well that we have been talking about the supports and the resistance. When you keep a buy near that of the support or exactly at the support level or even 5-10 pips below that, at times it may not be hit, other times it might be hit and subsequently they go down and hit your stop also and come up. Then why do we call it as a support? So always keep in mind that these are all the things will work very well if the market is not manipulated. As long as the market is manipulated, you are bound to see such supports and resistance are disrespected by the players. Only when the supports and the resistance are breached, then it creates a market fear. Once the market fear is created, the trade is going for a distress trade. So try to get away from such understanding of the market when it is a failure system as far as the current market condition is concerned. Then Brent, can you explain the swing and firm up for the Asian session? Meaning, can you explain how many pips might be the spread in the swing? Okay, swing and firm up means a swing normally happens if it is near that of the low for about 15 to 23 pips. Then firm up another 20 to 30 pips. That could be the level. If it is a rise, they can go up to 75 pips, 60 to 75 pips. Hope you are able to understand. Firm up is a nominal move of 20-30 and a rise is about 75 to 90 pips. Similarly, slide and drop, opposite. See, these are all qualitative attribution. I am trying to use it because exact pip measurement we should not do. Because When you talk in terms of pivot points, the supports, resistance, we calculate the exact levels and we focus on the exact levels. You know, if you look into your trading platform, it will be quite away from that of the current levels what you come across. So when the market is making the moves in a nominal swings, you will find your platform is also showing similar levels. But when the extreme moves near the low and the near the highs are seen, your platform might show a new low or a new high. So what is the big deal of estimating the supports and the resistance when the platform provider, they also do the stop-ins for their own clients, because the platform providers cannot earn money from that of the market, and they can only earn money from that of their own clients. It is like a gambling den. So in the gambling den, they want the players to come there and do the playing of the gamble and then earn from them by tricks. Yeah. The expected range for USDN shows lower level swing and rise move, but as per the values, the price is near the no. They all the expected market moves are with regard to the numerator currencies, Euro and GBP primarily. So primarily, swing and firm up means it is pertaining to that of Euro. I have not given it separately for USD, and you cannot take it in the same way. It will be different. As I told you, the behavior of USDN is different, and it can make contrarian move, that is rise along with that of Euro and GBP, or drop along with that of Euro and GBP, or they might make the USD weakening or USD gaining move. At the moment, the four majors are showing the USD gaining move, and slowly they may just gain the level in the case of Euro and GBP and hold USD yen in order to rise Euro yen and GBP yen, and later on they might drop Euro as well as USD, Euro as well as GBP, and then drop USD yen also. So you have to find out what time, what move they are doing in the denominator currencies. The next question: how to handle the USDN this week? Yeah, USDN, when they are just holding closer to the high, not breach the new high, take a sell and keep the hedge order to limit the risk. Otherwise, they will just again make another stop, and during that of the late European session, when they are making a downward stop, and in the case of Euro and GBP around 12:30, 13 GMT, at the time you try to take a sell in the case of USDN. So follow the timings. That will help you a lot in making money from the other market rather than giving importance to the other levels. So if you take the sell position in the case of USDN by late European session, and then later on during that of the US session, they will try to slowly come down in the case of USDN. Keep stop at entry and then calmly wait till end of the week. You will come across a big surprise. See, on the day of counting, on 9th, when USDN came down to 101, I was telling the people to take a buy position and wait for the big move. And you know, when everybody was talking that it is a surprise in the US election, so automatically everything will be making USD weakening move. How cleverly the players have simply reversed the market sentiment and made all USD gaining move. Now, this is a big secret behind it. Now, ultimately, the players make all such sentiments, create the sentiment act against in order to earn money from that of the traders. What for they earn? They earn huge money. And you know, only the richest in the world will feel that their earning is inadequate. Then, out of greed, they wanted to earn more and more money. If they are doing that, obviously, such quick money can be earned by illegal means. When they earn money illegally, then they need to take care of people who can just fix them. So they try to negotiate everything in a new setup and then later on come to market rigging. This is the normal scenario we come across during every election process. So don't be carried away by all the talks, etc., what is being given, but you try to read the hidden agenda. As far as you are concerned, you are a trader, you wanted to trade and earn money from the other market. Focus only on the trades. Don't be distracted with regard to all the attributes given by the analyst or the newspaper or TV channel, etc. Then my reference was with regard to the expected range table. Expected range table, as I explained, that in the case of USD yen, it can go up to 107.75. That is a mathematically derived level, and it can exactly respect that level or come closer to that, nothing more than that. Okay. So it doesn't mean that they will make another stop and then come down. They can stop with this. They just made a brief upward stop and 107.63, just one pip from that of 62. Actually, the low what they set was 59, and from there they come up to 63. So watch for the late session. See, now still it is only 2-3 pips away. So calmly wait. Let them come to the late session by 6 GMT. Then up to 7:30 GMT, it will be the late session. See how they are handling the high, and then take appropriate decision of taking a sell position. And definitely, if you take a sell position in the case of USD, and Friday I'll be here to do the review, you can ask me, or before that also you can ask me through email or Skype chat and find out what happens to your positions. Okay. Then Brent, in most cases, is it just because to stay out of the mid-Asian session due to lack of activity? Yeah, you can take rest if they are making swings like that, especially during the mid sessions when you are trading only in the case of majors. During the mid sessions, if they are making subdued move, probably you can attend to other work. Don't be glued to that of the terminal all the time. Attend to other work because they will be making only the swings, and you will be able to really attend to other work provided you have the hedging facility. If we have the hedging facility, keep the hedge order to limit the risk. Okay, I'm going to take only 30 pips risk with regard to my position. I don't mind going to sleep. I don't mind attending to my other household activities or the office work. Then what happens? When you come back, there can be two scenarios. One, the hedge would have been triggered, or the hedge is not triggered and the position might be making profit. If the hedge is triggered, and you can watch whether it is making profit or loss, and accordingly you can handle it based on the forecast. Otherwise, you can continue the trade by closing the hedge when it is making loss for 30 minutes and more. Then understand that the hedging was filled during the stop, and then you can continue with it of the buy side. Suppose you are closing the hedge with 30 pips loss, you earn more than 30 pips on the buy side, you'll be able to earn back a net profit. So you should be able to do such mental calculations, and decision making should be quick. Any other question, please? But not always the Japanese session will be inactive or subdued, and they, from time to time, as the week proceeds, will find the volumes will increase. Then they will bring in more activity during the Japanese session. Now they are making small swing between the high and the low in order to induce the traders to commit positions. So they are attracting people now, telling that okay, it has breached this support and gone below that of the support, so that you can take a quick sell and book profit. That sort of information people might derive, and probably they will think that okay, it is bound to make another 20-30 pips downward move definitely, so let me do a scalping trade. So they will just trigger the traders to commit positions. Once the traders commit position, you do come across the position is making nominal profit, etc. But at that time, you don't feel like closing it because your loss in the previous trade was higher. So you try to earn back the last money, but the players show only 10-15 pips profit and reverse the market. There comes the biggest challenge for the traders. Now it's very evidential in the case of USD, they are unlikely to make any big upward stop in the case, in the case of USD. Any other question, please? Okay, fine. Then I'll. Okay, I take this opportunity to thank FX Trade for the facilities provided to present the webinar. I'll come back on Friday, 18th of November, and try to explain to you what had happened during this particular week, whether the market has moved in line with the forecast expectations or against, so that we'll be able to understand again and again the dependability of the forecast and the trading strategy. See, ultimately, you should be able to find an appropriate solution. Just because I am giving it free, it doesn't mean that it may not have any value. I'm giving it free, mainly keeping in mind that I wanted to help the small traders who lost heavily the money following certain other methods. Being a statistics professor, I thought that it is necessary for me to educate the people to not get trapped again and again in the market. So wish you all happy trading, and if you got any doubt, you can contact me. I'll be answering to you immediately as quickly as possible, and we'll see you on Friday. Wish you all the best.